Hey everybody, Hat Creature here. Today I will be doing a series review of the Marvel Disney show Hawkeye. So I'm gonna try not to do any spoilers, but what I feel is a spoiler and what you might feel is a spoiler might be a bit different, because it's all according to taste and what you're really looking for in a show that might interest you. So before we get into the actual review, I'd like to say one of the things that I look for when it comes to superhero shows personally is that I like darker stories. I like serious shows, and the most important thing that kind of irks me is how these writers and studios treat their characters. I look for the amount of respect that my door shows me when it opens on its own and I have to periodically close it. No, I look for the respect they show their own characters and how they respect the intelligence of the audience. I myself am a writer. I love storytelling, and that's why I love Marvel and DC. And so when I see writers make these amateurish mistakes, it really irks me because they're getting paid to fail. You don't get paid to fail, good people. So here we go into the review. So Hawkeye, I enjoyed 90% of it, and I was pissed off only 10% of the time. So I would say it's a success. The pros of the show is that for the most part, it has good writing. It's an entertaining show. All 6 episodes. It was really short, but I think 6 episodes was enough. Until you actually get to the 6th episode. And then if you're like me, you're like, why even bother with what you did in the 6th episode? It's a great show. I did enjoy it. So I am subscribed to Heel vs. Babyface, Yellow Flash, Critical Drinker, That Star Wars Girl, Jay Longbone, all those types of people. And they review shows like these. So I'm coming from the background of people who don't like Loki, who don't like Batwoman. I don't like Batwoman either, who don't like the live action Cowboy Bebop. That's my background. And for those of you who are subscribed to them as well, you might be looking at Hawkeye and you're thinking, this is just trash. This is going to be like Loki. This is going to be disrespecting the characters all over the place, insulting the intelligence of the viewer, and it's just going to be some garbage. Well, if you watch the first episode, you will definitely think that. But that's just the first episode, which is not getting off to a great start. The 10% of me being pissed off was mostly in the first episode, but the 90% was basically everything else. Every time I got pissed off with this show, it was with Kate over here. Kate Bishop. Now, you might be thinking, if you're coming from the same background I am, that Kate Bishop is the star of the show. It's all about her, and she's a Mary Sue. Well, I wouldn't say she's a Mary Sue exactly. I'm still pondering over that. But there is a clear distinction of what qualifies as a Mary Sue. Now, the reason I got pissed off with her was because of the bad writing. This is where the writing gets bad. And it's all around her, which really sucks because it might actually be a Disney problem. I don't know. But anyway, some of the things that pissed me off was that in the first episode, before we actually see anything sketchy, Kate Bishop is undeniably filled with disgust and possible hate towards her stepfather. We don't know why. We see one scene with him, which is his introduction. She hates him immediately. We have no idea why at all. Never even heard of the man. She hates him. Why? Don't know. She does. Absolutely detests him. Oh, wow, great. Are we going to find out why? No. No, we're not going to find out why. Throughout the entire 6 episodes, we never get to find out why she didn't like her stepfather before he was seen into some shady stuff. And that's a red flag right there. If you're going to have a character hate somebody that much, we need to know why. Because if this is the main character that we're supposed to be siding with, we should know why they're filled with these emotions. We should see it in action or hear about a past event. But we don't get any of that. Instead, all we get is this man who... Sure, he's not a comfortable person to be around with in his first meeting, but it's obvious that he wants to be there, and she hates him for it. Does she hate him because her father is dead and that her mother is remarrying somebody 15 years after her husband died? I don't know. We don't know. We're never told if that's why she's angry. And to be honest, if she's angry that her stepmother, if she's angry that her mother is moving on 15 years at least after her husband died, then the problem is Kate, and we should not like someone like that. You're angry that it took 15 years for your mother to move on, and you're angry that she is moving on. You're the problem, Miss Bishop. You're the problem. My door is magical. It opens on its own when there's no draft of wind. So that was something that I didn't like. That was part of the 10%. But that's the first episode. Over on in the second episode, we get some more info. We get to see some more scenes with the stepfather. But it really doesn't matter. Because her hate is suddenly justified with the shady stuff the stepfather does in the first episode. So we never truly get to find out why she doesn't like him. We can only guess based on things she says in passing, which amount to basically nothing. So anyway, that's part of the 10%. The other part of the 10% is, so here might be a spoiler. This might be a spoiler. So before you listen to the spoiler, which might be one, I'm just going to tell you why I don't think it is. When I watch these shows, one of the things I enjoy is the villain. I love a good bad guy. If there's a hero, there has to be a compelling antagonist. There has to be a really good villain. The magic of my door is called a cat. Yes, I just figured it out. Goodness gracious. If you hear pounding on the door, that's my cat. So anyway, when I watched Jessica Jones, which is one of my favorite Marvel Netflix shows, the sole reason that I started watching it was because the main villain of season 1 for Jessica Jones was the Purple Man, Kilgrave. The Purple Man is a very, obscure villain that isn't used very often. And he's one of my favorites because my favorite color is purple. And so I immediately watched the show because he was in it. And I loved it. I absolutely loved the show. All the Marvel Netflix shows I adore. That's my standard for a superhero show. Marvel Netflix. Because it was the perfect combination of serious, dark, good storytelling. And if there's humor to break up the mood, good job. Maybe not enough humor, but what we did get was good enough. Because it wasn't supposed to be funny. This show isn't like that at all. And I'm bringing this up because of the villain. The main reason I watched Hawkeye was because of the main villain in the show. That only appears in one episode. That only appears in the last episode. So here's the spoiler. Now, if you feel the same way as me, it's not a spoiler. But if you want to find out who the main villain of the 6-episode series that only appears in the last episode is, if you don't want to know, I'm just going to tell you, it's not even important. It's not even important at all. So here we go. The other 10% of me not liking the show was the main villain, Wilson Fisk, the Kingpin. He only appears in the... Well, actually, that's not true. He does appear in a photograph in the, final 5 seconds of episode 5, and then he appears in episode 6. He's revealed to be, the boss, the big guy, the uncle of Echo, the other villain in the show. So this is... Great job, guys. This is Kingpin's first official appearance in the MCU canon, because Marvel Netflix is not directly connected or even associated at all whatsoever, according to Disney, to their MCU lineup. So this is the first appearance ever, for real, of the Kingpin, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, the same guy who played the Kingpin in Daredevil and Punisher on Netflix. And the other 10% is with him. He did a great job with what he was given. He's wearing his iconic outfit in his first official appearance, the white jacket and suit with the purple pants, and he has his iconic cane. He is the Kingpin. He's beautiful. But personally, I just don't like the cinematography of the show. In Daredevil and Punisher, the cinematography made you feel small whenever you were in a scene with Wilson Fisk. You felt small. He felt larger than life. Because of the camera angles and the coloring in Daredevil and Punisher, he always had this feeling of being overpowered. And that was all because of the cinematography. All because of the camera angles and how they approached him. They did worm eye lens, going down and looking up. And then in certain specific scenes, specifically in Daredevil, was it Daredevil or was it Punisher? I don't remember. But there is a scene when Wilson Fisk in the Netflix shows goes to prison, and it stops doing that. It intentionally films him like a normal person, and he doesn't seem larger than life anymore. He feels small. He feels he feels small, and you feel on the same level as him because of the way they're shooting all of his scenes while he's in prison. That's how they film him in Hawkeye. He doesn't feel big. He doesn't feel intimidating. He doesn't feel threatening. He doesn't even feel important. Probably because most of the time he looks like he's dressed on vacation in Florida, despite it being Christmas in New York, which really makes him seem out of place. It's very odd. I was born in Hawaii, so it was really cool seeing him wear a Hawaiian t-shirt, but they dress him so casual, and so it's just like he's on vacation. He's not intimidating. Everything I love about that character is not in Hawkeye, and I'm not going to spoil his fate in the show, but I will tell you that if his fate at the end of Hawkeye is exactly what it looks like, then this show is garbage. But we won't know his actual fate until they confirm it in another TV show. So that's great. So we have to wait until another movie or another TV show to find out if this show is indeed garbage. Because, like I said, one thing I worry about is how they respect their characters and respect the intelligence of the audience. And they do not respect the Kingpin in his first appearance of the show. His first appearance in MCU, they do not respect the character with his fate at the end of the episode. And I'm just not going to spoil that. So anyway, yeah, 10% utter garbage that pissed me off. 90%, I had a great time, so we're going to talk about that next. This is the epitome of a family-friendly show that you can watch, during the holidays. This is a great show. Other than those things specifically, which are, two small things, the rest of the show is great. We have some action. We have some holiday festive music. We have some drama between the characters. We see growth in Clint Barton, Hawkeye. His whole thing in the show is actually not it's not a redemption story. It's more of him just revealing stuff about his past. During the show Endgame, Clint Barton's family, I believe, was snapped, and they turned to dust. So he became the Ronin and attacked the criminal underworld with a sword instead of a bow. I don't know what chain. I guess he just wanted a more personal approach. So the show centers around his identity as the Ronin and the criminal underworld trying to find the Ronin because they think the Ronin is back. That's the plot of the show. So the action is great. We have some nice trick arrows, some good archery. I love archery, and that's one reason I like Hawkeye. That's another reason I wanted to watch the show, because I like Hawkeye. He wears purple, and he uses a bow. Two things that I love the most. So why wouldn't I want to watch it? Well, I was worried to watch it because I didn't think it'd be good, and it is good. It's a great family show, There's just a teeny tiny bit of blood, but it's not something that would fill half a bucket at all. So that's nice. Some fun action sequences, and it's never too serious in the action sequences. Maybe in two scenes, but they're very far apart. It's nice, and the coloring in those scenes specifically, are nice, are darker. The show could have gotten dark, but it chose not to, because this is Disney, and you're not allowed to cry. Oh, I'm sorry. You can cry only when it's sad, but you can't be sad most of the time. You have to be happy most of the time. You have to laugh. You have to have fun being happy at innocent things. That's Disney. That's why I like Marvel Netflix, because it's not like that. You can be happy being sad. That's who I am. But it's a very festive, happy show, and there's nothing wrong with it. That is great. I feel pointing out the negative things is important, because if something matters to you, and if something is a turnoff, you need to know what those turnoffs are. And seeing the impact of those turnoffs is very important. But when it comes to positive things, if it's good, it's good. And I don't really think it's truly that important to say all the good things there are about the show. Because if the only things I didn't like about the show are some bad writing in one episode with one character, then that's really not much of a problem at all. It's really short. Like I said, I was only pissed off 10% of the time for two things. So the rest of the show is great. So if you want to jump in, most of the show is great. I think you'll enjoy it. If you're worried about it, that's all there is bad about it. When it comes to Kate Bishop possibly being a Mary Sue, to that I say, in the first episode, in the intro, they have this animated montage of Kate growing up from a child to a 22-year-old, training basically her entire life in archery, in gymnastics, in karate possibly. I think it's karate. But she's been training her whole life to protect herself, to protect her family. So she did train, and she did fail most of the time when it came to archery. And it shows that. It shows her failing. And the thing about a Mary Sue is, Mary Sues don't fail. Rey Skywalker in Star Wars. She's a Mary Sue. That's what a Mary Sue is. Someone who is good at everything just because. I can win. I will win. I already won. Because I can. That's what a Mary Sue is. Kate wins, but what qualifies as a win is really up for debate. she fights Kingpin, right? She fights Kingpin. Does she win? Of course she wins, because she's supposed to win. But the only reason she wins, in my opinion, is because the Kingpin lets her win. If you've seen Wilson Fisk in Daredevil and Punisher, you know he takes no BS. He will end you the moment the moment he feels like it. Taking that into account with the fight that she has with Kingpin in the final episode, it's obvious he let her win. And that's why she gets away. Not because she was better than him. Not because she was more skilled. And not because she was a Mary Sue. He let her win. Mary Sues aren't allowed to win. They just win because they do. So I don't think she's a Mary Sue. And there you have it. There's my hopefully spoiler-free review of Hawkeye. I enjoyed it. I'm hesitant to watch Loki. I haven't seen Loki or Wanda or Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I have some very strong opinions about certain things, especially when it comes to race. Fact of the matter that it really shouldn't matter. There's a scene in what was it? Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where that nobody wants a black Captain America. And that's just disgusting. That's just a horrible thing. That's horrible. So I really don't want to watch that show, but I might watch it. Loki, on the other hand, I do not want to watch a show where the main character is about someone that is about somebody else. I'm pretty sure that Loki isn't even about Loki. It's about a different Loki. It's about all these Lokis. It's not about Loki. It's about a different one. I don't want to watch that. WandaVision, however, I'm pretty excited to watch. Pretty excited to watch that because I know that it's something that I think her name is Elizabeth Olsen. She was really excited to do House of M. That's the storyline she wanted to do, and WandaVision is basically that. So that's why I'm gonna watch that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let's see. On Christmas, my video with commentary, Christmas Massacre, will be out. So if you've been waiting for that and you want to see my commentary gameplay, that'll be out on Christmas. So thank you guys, and as always, have a great day.